Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is July 24th, and this is your aftermarket update. All right, we had a really nice day here at the Oil Trading Group. In fact, if you take a look up there in the top left-hand corner, you can see that we finished up the day at 1740 on the CL, and we were down 6 ticks on the ES for a very nice, robustly positive day here. Now, we're going to spend just a couple of minutes here talking about one of my favorite trade setups that is going to be available to you in an introductory training course that we offer here. It is exceptional value, and you'll see today just how exceptional that value is. We'll talk about that and how it was a catalyst to get us in on the CL today. We'll also talk about an opportunity that presented itself in the overnight session on the ES. So again, we'll start with the ES today. There was a sweet spot retracement at 30075 on the ES. In fact, it was a really good opportunity. If you measure out the high there, that was really just about, what is that high? That high actually, the high there, just to make sure, yeah, it was 3008 quarter, 2 ticks of heat in the overnight session. Gave you an opportunity short at the sweet spot at 3007.75. That market then sold off all the way down to what was the low of the day for almost 12 ES points, all the way into, and again, this was your overnight session, but there are some of you that do trade that overnight session, and then there is another big chunk of folks that don't live in the U.S., and that this is an opportunity for them to trade, and that provided them with an excellent opportunity at that sweet spot retracement, 2 ticks of heat, and 12 points worth of potential movement. Now, the market subsequently rallied on the day quite a bit, and you had a big push up, but really the trade opportunity of the day was right there at that sweet spot retracement. That was one of the trade opportunities of the day. Also, you did have a pretty sizable sell-off off of one of our market maker levels. I did not trade this. I was had my hands full with a very big ES trade or CL trade today, $1,400 ES or CL trade that I'll show you here in just a few moments. But that sweet spot retracement gave you that opportunity there on the ES today. Now, we'll take a look here at the CL. You're going to see a couple of interesting ideas here. One is after the inventory report, first of all, this 5742 sweet spot was hit back here yesterday. That's this area. So if you were to just take this line and draw it all the way across, in fact, let's do this. Let's go with the horizontal line. Let's see, horizontal line at 42, which is right here. Okay. And so yesterday we had talked about this in the trading room that there was a sweet spot retracement up here at 5742. The market right at the American Petroleum Institute report that is released at 1530 rallies all the way up. In fact, we came up in the really the rally began at around 10:15 that morning and just kind of drifted up, and then you had a little bit of a rally up, and then of course you had that number, gave you 5 ticks of heat. And then the market began to slowly work itself down from that high up there. So again, if you were short at that 42, there was an opportunity into that overnight session for 57 ticks, right? Market rallies, comes down, and it actually goes a little bit further here. Rallies back up into the ETH session open, and then just kind of drifts around. So really a good opportunity off that level. And so one of the things that we talked about as we were getting started here today is that sweet spot retracement there at 42 was going to be a potential opportunity. Now, this big bar here was the inventory report, and I'm going to turn on for just a second the daily structure signal levels here. We had gotten long this morning here on the off of this mid, and we caught a pretty good ride up through here. And again, you can see that we were up $340 going into that $1,400 trade that we took today. Market rallies up. This 10-tick box that you see, this blue box, represents the 10 ticks of range around this market maker level here. And so what we were talking about in the room and what we had done, if you were in the room with us today, we'd gotten long a couple of times over the top of that 49. In fact, it made this new high. We got stopped out, and we just kind of stopped out a break even, and then it kind of played around. And we said we were long above 49 and short below this 39 area. So into this sweet spot retracement, into our market maker level, we end up getting short at 39, and then the market begins to sell off. We were actually looking to target 55.26 is what we were looking to target today. and I'll show you how we kind of got shaken out of that. But first, you had this sweet spot retracement here. Market sells off, comes down, and we wrote it all the way down here. Now, you'll notice this 56.25 area we have marked as a sweet spot retracement, and that is right here. And again, that's where basically where the market stabilized. If you talk about a 10-tick box around the ranges, around these levels that we look at, then you can see we came right down into this boxed area, and then the market comes back and rallies all the way up to, actually it goes a little bit higher than that, 74. It comes all the way back up to the volume weighted average price where it triple tops at 95. So again, another sweet spot retracement that you had an opportunity to get into, right? It missed this by a couple of ticks, but that is, as we say, that is close enough. That was a 66 tick move up. By that time, we'd already taken our 70 ticks on our 2-lot trade for $1,400. So we were done by this point. And one of the things that we had talked about again in the trade room today is we were looking, we said if we could break through this 56.13, that we were actually looking for that bigger target all the way down here at the MS target at 50. Really, we were talking about 55.37 to 55.26, right? We talked about there's a 10-tick box around these levels. And again, on the downside of that, we thought we could reach out all the way down into this area here. So again, that was kind of what we had talked about. We got shaken out on this retracement here. We still had a very handsome 70-tick trade, but again, as the market goes on and continues down during the day, you could see we came right down into that MS target level. And if you were in the trade room with us and you did happen to see that trade, you know that that was that area that we were looking to talk about, to get into. So again, really the 42 sweet spot retracement held, and there was an opportunity here for, gosh, that is 209 ticks on the day based upon this sweet spot retracement. So again, if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend that you get this opportunity. Take a look at this sweet spot retracement. It is one of my favorite retracement sweet spots and setups that we look at in the trade room, and it is an extremely good value. Again, today there was an opportunity for 12 points on the ES and 200 ticks on the CL. So again, and then of course that is if you didn't get long down here off of this one. Now again, it didn't go to the tick, but again, rarely are things to the tick precision. You have that zone of influence that you're looking for, and that is exactly how it happened in here today. So I'm going to let you watch us get into this CL trade of the day. It is a 70 tick times 2 lots, $1,400 CL trade of the day. I'm going to let you see where we get in. You'll see where the stop is. In fact, I believe it was a 10 tick stop, 70 ticks. That's a 7-to-1 reward to risk ratio, and you'll be able to see that trade as it goes through. I'll chop it up, speed it up, put some music behind it, and you'll get a good sense for what it is that we're looking at here. So without further ado, here is that OTG trade of the day. I'm not going to, there, I'm in now at 39. Stop here is 49. Stop at 49.